we know because John Johnson III, they said they're going to move on from him. They made that pretty clear at the Combine, so he will probably be cut with that June 1st designation, saves him $975 off the cap. Here are 3 free agent safeties that could replace John Johnson III. Juan Thornhill of the Chiefs. Thornhill, good instincts as deep safety, moves sideline to sideline, good ball skills, make a play on the ball when it's in the air. Not as effective in run defense or coverage. Thornhill still has the skills to make plays and prevent explosive runs. He's probably a little more affordable than this guy, Jesse Bates of the Bengals. As good as Bates is in coverage, his impact in the run game last season was even bigger. Missed only 7 tackles all season. Play recognition is on an elite level with the speed to make the most of it. All those things sound like very, very good things that the Browns could use. And then Rodney McLeod of the Colts. Veteran player who will be 33 next season. McLeod showed in 2022 he still has plenty left in the tank. Pro Football Focus gave him an 85.3 grade last season. He only allowed 9.3 yards per reception. When you listen to them, keeping in mind Bates is going to cost you probably a whole lot more than Thornhill or McLeod, where do you think they go to plug what is now a hole at free safety?
Yeah, I would stay away from Jesse Bates, to be honest with you. I don't think his play matches the price tag he's going to command in the market. And I think how the Bengals have treated his contract situation should be a red flag to anybody that's looking to get Jesse Bates as a franchise safety, because the Bengals clearly did not view him as one. Lou Anarumo clearly did not view him as one, because at no point during his contract negotiation were the Bengals ever really serious about getting him to an extension. And then they drafted Dax Hill. That's a huge red flag to me. On top of some of the red flags I feel like is in his tape. I think he's somebody who relies too much on QBIs to make some of those great instinctual plays that he makes. And honestly, I think he's one of the more easily manipulatable free safeties. And if you're talking about busted coverage and you think Jesse Bates is going to fix it, he was a part of one of the most busted coverage secondaries a couple years ago when he was getting his most snaps and his most the most space in his career as a safety. So I would be very worried about Jesse Bates that signing. I'm not a big fan of that player. But Juan Thornhill makes sense here. I think that would be along the lines. You're talking about a young guy who's not going to be too expensive. And look, he's not going to be super effective in run defense coverage, but like, I don't really care how great of a run defender my free safety is, because I don't want to know. You know what I mean? Like, if I got to know how good of a run defender my free safety is, there's other problems that needed to be handled before we get to that, right? Because
we found out how good our free safety was in run defense last year too often.
It didn't help us anything, right? Like remember when Mika Fitzpatrick led the Steelers defense in tackles and it was very easy to run on them? Like, that you don't want that life. Like, you know, so yeah, is Juan Thornhill not a great run defender? Sure. But like, is that what we're going to ask him to do? I would hope not. You know, that's Grant Delpit's job, is to do that, right? Is to be the free safety in the box. If Juan Thornhill has to make the tackle, there are like at least 4 guys that failed at their job. And if Juan fails and he's the 5th, how am I mad at the 5th domino for dropping, right? Like, you can't be mad at the 5th domino because that's not the one that caused the cascade.